people got out of their car and walked inside as if they're like, you here, this is the car we have for you. I went and I got inside of the vehicle. I sat down, then I looked around and seen that there was a pocketbook inside of it. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is not that. Before I can even think about trying to get out, it was people already coming up to the car trying to surround it. So then at that point, I just started beeping, trying to like move the car, trying to get the police to come back outside and help me. It was a dude at the window slamming. You can tell he was a part of this fucking trafficking shit. And a girl who was working came out and it was like, just come in, I'm going to protect you. She was the black woman. She was the only person who put herself out there to protect me. I'm so grateful for her. And I feel like she helped save my life. Police officers ended up taking me to the police station in the airport. They took me in there, wet my fingertips up, did like some weird thing like with the fingerprinting, like smush my fingers all weird. The handprints wouldn't match up, and then they falsified a police report saying that I stole the vehicle, moved it from one end of the terminal to the other. I never even moved the car. I only was trying to get their attention to come back outside and help me. He didn't help. I didn't know if the guy who raped me, if he was kidnapped and getting hurt too. I didn't know what was going on. He didn't help me. Ended up taking me in, giving me a bus ticket and releasing me. And when I tried to leave, I tried to go across the highway to the hotel over here to use a computer to try to get in contact with my family or somebody to try to see if at least they would help me. And when I got to the airport, the workers were all sitting outside of their car and they started getting released inside of the building one by one, the same way like I said when they were in New York. And they let me know if I go inside of a building and they come in there and kill everybody, it would be my fault because I chose to go inside instead of protecting everybody. It was freezing. Even had instances like when I was up in Queens where they had people sitting a certain way on the train, like they were playing this wicked game with people where somebody comes on the train and they sit down in a certain place and then it forces like the other person on the other side to get up and then they have to get up and they got to run home, and like they were sex trafficking people. Like Queens was really bad. Like it was like under control by like this gang or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on in Queens, but it was terrifying. It sounds just like the documentaries that you're doing about these people, but it's seeming like some of these people are innocent because I'm innocent and they did this to me. Like they know I'm talented and like they already just wanted to be able to have something on me and I didn't even do anything. I'm not going to be blackmailed. I'm not going to let y'all kill me without telling my story. I didn't deserve this. They attacked me so bad. They have released me with the ticket and I came back across the highway after seeing what they were doing to the workers. I actually waited at that bus stop. The bus pulled up and I got on the bus and the bus driver just showed me a picture of his kids and like shook his head no. Like he didn't want to take me because he didn't want anything to happen to her. So I had to get out of the car, and when I tried to walk back to the police station, there was like an old school car that like turned into the lot and went down that way ahead of me and stared me down. So I tried to go through a gate and go around the other way, but the gate itself was closed off. Like I couldn't get back to the police station. I would have to go back around. When I tried to go back around, it was like drones of cars just pouring into that parking lot. Didn't know what to do, and there was like a security company sitting there. It was a guy sitting there with a car door wide open, so I went and I hopped inside of the car to get him to get the police again because people weren't trying to help me, so I had to force them to call the cops on me. If y'all had to take me somewhere safe, I wouldn't mind going into the jail if it meant that you were putting me somewhere you could keep me safe. And you said you couldn't step in unless something was done wrong, so I tried to put my trust in the system that's what they needed to protect me. Ended up calling them to come back, and then the police took me in. And this time they processed my fingerprints the right way. But this time they put me inside of the room and they turned the AC all the way up on high and froze me out because I guess I came back and they already falsified everything the first time. And they were just upset with me, and it was like they were retaliatory towards me in it. And then that's when they took me and they put me inside of the jail, and they just ended up releasing me the next day too. And here's the fucked up part about it: they released me at almost 12 o'clock in the morning from the Essex County Jail. And anybody knows what the Essex County Jail is? It's in the middle of nowhere in the woods. There's no lights, no nothing, and there was cars waiting in the parking lot. Luckily, I didn't still have my bags because the police department took my bags. They took my birth certificate, my social security card, my high school diploma, my medical records, my mom's birth certificate. There was a rumor I had money, so there was obviously some of them that were dirty and they were trying to get my legal documents. I know at this point my social security number is all over the place at this point. I just know I can't get nothing in my name and I gotta keep an eye on my shit. Thank God my credit is fucking terrible. And then when they had me inside of the county, they kept putting me in rooms with groups of dudes. I'm like, groups of men inmates. And they would put only a woman guard. A short, tiny woman guard is the only thing standing between these groups of men and me. So if they wanted to gang rape me or attack me in there for this, they could have done it. Not protected. And I wasn't protected because they thought that I was a fucking pedophile. That's why they don't get paid to fucking think too much. Just do your fucking job. If you had done your job, you could have protected me long enough to know that it was a fucking rumor. To this day, they have my legal documents. I don't have it back. Zero intentions of taking the cars. If I wanted to take the cars, I wouldn't have waited till the police got there. I already was in a position to take these things and left. I put myself in a predicament where the police could step in and actually help me. They said that the only way they would ever step in if something was done. So I prayed to God, and he basically let me know in my prayer that if this is the only way I'm going to see you through, and I put my trust in the system. Point they dismissed the case that they falsified the report for, and I still have to go back to court for the other portion of it. At that point I gave up and I came back to New York, and I did the best that I can. I just decided to just go back into that house because if they had that guy in there and they were trying to hurt him, then I was going to try to help them best I can. I couldn't get help from any police officers at that point. Nobody would step in. I went back, he basically was in there like threatening me too. And I'm like, something is fucking off. He had a dude in there in a wheelchair. He had his light on, like he has like lights around his ceiling. He had the lights regular and then he turned the lights on like green, like he put a green, like he had the window open, like as if somebody was across the street. He spoke to me for a little bit and he was like, why the fuck you didn't just call the number? And he was like, I got this toothache. And he was just doing a whole bunch of drugs like cocaine or crack. I don't know what he was doing. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm trying to gauge the situation, understand if I'm in danger. Were you the bad guy? Were you somebody that was forced? We were cool. We were friends. I didn't know what was going on with him. Went, and like I said, the other guy that was there in the wheelchair, he went and he turned the music all the way up and he was like, I said I got this toothache. The toothache I feel is my mom. Like somebody did something to his mom or something. And I ended up like, and then he looked at me and then that's when he clicked the light and turned it on green. Like it was blue. The light in the room was blue and then he turned it on green. And I could tell he had somebody watching throughout the window because of how he opened the curtains up. I was just freaking confused at that point. Ended up leaving his house then and running from there. When I tried to get to the train station, this dude that I knew from downtown who started acting funny to me. We went on one date and then he started acting funny to me too. Somebody that I knew from being involved in like the modeling world. I saw him sneaking into the train station before me, so I ended up not even going into that train station, running into another one and getting myself home. Finally got home as I gave up with trying to believe it was possible for me to get away. I just started listening to my intuition. I would stay home. I would hide all day. I would just eat the food that was in my house. I wouldn't go out for anything. And then whenever I would get scared, I would just get out of here and I would go run to Manhattan and just go find somewhere to hide. I was doing this like every night, every other night, whenever something was going on. Like it was just it was so terrifying. And then eventually I was able to just start staying in my house. I started to just hide in my house every day. I was in my house for months. I said I had hundreds of men trying to come after me and rape me. Nasty homeless men on the train, exposing themselves to me. All types of fucking shit, bro. Halal trucks in Manhattan. They were doing weird shit to me. Muslim people practicing witchcraft on me. The Spanish people practicing witchcraft on me. And then when I was inside of the jail, they tried to give me a turkey sandwich, but something about it felt off, so I didn't eat it. And then after that, every single day, they just started giving ham, because they know I don't eat ham. I don't eat ham at all, as I look at ham as if it's sinful. I eat turkey and I eat seafood. I went into prayer with God and he gave me a covenant a couple years back and I stick to it. That's the only thing that I eat. Targeting